Well, someone who's been giving thanks right across Canada on his Thank You Canada tour is Crossroads founder David Mainse. We catch up with him now via Skype in Ottawa. How's the weather there? It looks like it might be raining.
Yes, it is raining a bit, so we're in the van and we're outside the Denny's restaurant, taking advantage with permission of their free internet service at the South Quay Mall, which is right near the international airport here in Canada's capital city.
All right, well, tell us, Dad, what you've been up to the last few days.
Well, when we first arrived in the Ottawa area, we went over to the Quebec side, the Gatineau, and our first events, pastors gathering and the gathering of all the partners and their friends, was at Aylmer United Church. Had a great night there. And in fact, there are two congregations meet in that building, and a former RCMP officer whose grandfather I knew very, very well in Pembroke when I was a teenager, Eddie Bigra. He's the pastor of one of the congregations, so we had a great time there. And then we headed up with your sister, Ron, Elaine, up the Gatineau, along the Gatineau River. Magnificent scenery. And my mother and my aunt used to paint oils of that river, and we had them in our home as a boy. We had the privilege of stopping a lovely young couple, PhD student here in Ottawa, and his wife and a child living in the home where my mother was born. Your grandmother was born there, Ron. And then we went on over to Rupert Cemetery, where Elaine and I, well, she cried with me. She's an old softie like me. And we thought of my mother. I told her about her passing in the Ottawa Civic Hospital, her passing away when I was just 12 years of age, and how I promised my mother on her deathbed, last thing that happened before she breathed her last, I promised her, I said, Mother, I'll meet you in heaven. And that's still my total determination, Ron. Then we were over in Orleans, Ottawa East. We don't have any pictures over there at the Community Pentecostal Church. Wonderful crowd over there. It was just great. And then we moved on into Ottawa itself, right downtown, Dominion Chalmers United Church. And it's a magnificent old historic building. In fact, Ron, I have an article here that was framed and up on the wall because in that church, something happened way back in 1889. And there it is, the day Sir John found Jesus, Canada's first Prime Minister. And let me just read you a little bit of that, Ron. Would that be all right?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Right.
That sounds quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, Bob Harvey of the Canada's capital's main newspaper, the Ottawa Citizen, Bob Harvey wrote, "It was and still remains the most public and dramatic statement of faith ever by a Canadian Prime Minister. Kevin Key, an historian of religion, told a seminar yesterday that the Prime Minister's public conversion was the high point of the 26-year career of Canada's premier Methodist evangelists. He said that although daily newspapers of the time didn't pay a lot of attention to the event, the Methodist Herald newspaper in Toronto recorded that when the well-known figure of the premier rose to his feet, many strong men bowed their heads and wept for joy. And Sir John and his wife, and of course, you know, Sir John had a battle with the bottle, but I was told by Dr. Max Putnam, the former moderator of the Presbyterian Church, and Sir John back in Kingston, which was Sir John's riding, was a member of that congregation, the Presbyterian Church on Queen Street in Kingston. And they have it roped off his pew. And I had the opportunity of being there, speaking there some years ago. And Dr. Putnam told me that indeed John was completely set free from his addiction. And so I was thrilled with that. But I have mentioned this, but never saw a newspaper article until it was framed up on the wall of the historic Dominion Chalmers United Church there downtown Ottawa. So that was a joy. It's a great article, really. And that was a joy for me because I've been telling that story, but never had any definitive proof from people who researched it directly.
Well, Dad, that is very interesting. And I know as you travel across Canada, and as you have for many times gone across Canada tours, you've always emphasized the importance of keeping faith with our founding fathers, and the importance of the fact that God must be given dominion from sea to sea, in our hearts especially. And I know that's your heart, Dad. And yet, as we're in our fundraising effort right now, our membership drive, maybe you can just give a quick challenge out to people before we say goodbye to you.
Well, there's not room for Norma-Jean in here to sit. She could come sit on my knee, but it doesn't work. This is a crowded little van. But she gave on Tuesday the grandparents and great-grandparents challenge, $10 a grandchild. And of course, last year someone encouraged us to up it to 15 for our 16 grandchildren, our 5 great-grandchildren. Well, we didn't have 5 last year. In the membership drive, we had only 4. We're up to 5 now. So, Ron, we asked you to put that pledge in. And so that's happening, God willing, when we arrive back. In about a week and a half, we'll be back at the Crossroads Center in Burlington. We'll present our check. But it's such a joy to see the people who come to our Thank You Canada events getting in behind the new vision for the ministry as we move into the new social medium of the internet. It's just taken over. Our grandchildren don't really watch television like we used to. Norma-Jean and I turn around after we've greeted and spent some time, and there are 5 laptops up, computers. That's where they are. And according to one cable television operator, at least 1/3 of the people in his city don't have either cable or satellite. It's a young city, and they get all their information from the internet. So that's where you're heading, Ron, along with maintaining what we're doing already, of course, maintaining that, taking the Full Circle telecast, which normally is on tomorrow, to daily, beginning in the new year. So I'm excited about the future. God bless you and all of those that are providing leadership for Crossroads 100 Huntley Street Ministry, and all of us who support you. Peter quoted on the first message ever on the history of the Christian church. St. Peter said that your young men will see visions, and that's generic, your young men and women, and your old men and older women will have dreams. Well, my dream is to help you, and I would challenge every older person to have a dream to help the young people fulfill their visions for the future, such as you and the team have there at Crossroads, Ron. So God bless you, and I'm going to encourage people to go to their phones right now, make that call with credit card in hand, or make a pledge and mail in the check, or however they do it. Ron, this is the opportunity we have to give a great boost for the future of our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and here in Canada and across the border, of course, our many friends in the United States of America.
All right, thanks so much for that challenge, Dad. And the number right now, because I know people are wanting to go to their phones in response to you, is 1-888-288-0003. And we want to say thank you as well by a copy of this Count Your Blessing CD with the Gaither Homecoming Friends, and we'll get that out to you as our way of thanking you. So God bless you, and God bless you and Mom out there, Dad. Stay safe, and we'll check in with you again.
We're going to be doing some other events, Ron.
Okay, well, we can have that come up on the screen right now, actually.
Friday night, Canada Baptist Church, Ottawa West.
Okay, there it is. And then Monday, October 25th in Pembroke, Pentecostal Tabernacle in Pembroke, Ontario. And then Wednesday, October 27th, Bancroft, Pentecostal Tabernacle there in Bancroft. And so the full schedule of the rest of this leg 2, which is almost completed, is on our website at crossroads.ca. Click on the Thank You Canada Tour.
God bless everybody. God bless you.
Okay, God bless you too.